Welcome to Latin at Home. I am Kathleen, your host. In this series, we will be using verses from the Mass readings to practice Latin. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me at Latin at Home. This is the 8th Sunday after Pentecost. Let's take a look at our Gospel reading. It is from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 16, verses 1 through 9, and we are just going to be doing verse 9. Et ego vobis dico, facite vobis amicos de mammona iniquitatis, ut cum defeceritis recipiant vos in aeterna tabernacula. This verse breaks down nicely into clauses and phrases. We'll start with the word et, which we know means and. We've also seen this word ego before, which means I. It's a pronoun in the nominative because it is the subject. And if we look over on our verb, we can see that it ends in O, matching the subject I. And dico, we saw in a previous video, and this verb means to say or to tell. So this is, and I say. We've also seen vobis. This is in the dative. When you have a word in the dative, you have to insert a to or a for usually. So we're going to insert to, and this is you plural. And I say to you. Before we translate facite, I just want to take a quick look at it because it's super common in Latin. These are the forms of it, and it is the verb to do or to make. So whenever you see it, you want to try both of those and see which one makes sense. And you can see in this fourth principal part, F-A-C-T, that is the root from which we get our English words. So the word fact, for example, the word facsimile, and the word factotum. If you can think of any other derivatives, please let me know in the comments. So getting back to our translation, facite, this is an imperative form. This is a command form. So there's not going to be a subject with it. It's just going to be make, the command. Vobis, so again, this is in the dative. You're inserting a to or a for usually. This time I'm going to go with for. And it is you plural. I just didn't put the plural in there. And then we have amicos. So with this os ending, we know that we are in the accusative case because it's the direct object. And this word means friends. When you look at the translation of this, make for you friends, I am going to change the word order a little bit, and I'm also going to change the you to yourselves, only because it sounds a little more natural in English. So, make friends for yourselves sounds better than make for you friends. De was highlighted in a previous video. Remember, it can mean of, about, concerning, from, or down from. I'm just going to stick with that first option and go with of. Mammona, you can see the word mammon in there, and we're just going to insert an article with it. Another side note, if you remember from de, is that it's always followed by a noun in the ablative. And finally, for this slide, we have iniquitatis. So this is ending shows us we are in the genitive, and the genitive, remember, needs to insert of when you're translating into English. So of iniquity, and you can see iniquity right in there. And I say to you, make friends for yourselves of the mammon of iniquity. Moving on to ut. Ut can mean a number of things. Very often it means that or so that. I'm going to go with so that. Cum is a preposition usually. I think we've seen it this way before. I'd like to point out one thing with cum. When it's followed by a noun in the ablative, it's going to translate as with. However, if it is not a preposition and it is introducing a clause, it is going to translate as when. It can also translate as because and other things. We have defeceritis here, which is a verb. Therefore, we are going to translate cum as when. And let me clear this and make room for the verb. This verb ends in tis. We know the subject is you plural. You can almost see the word defect in here, and that is because this word means to fail. so that when you will fail, recipient is our verb. It ends in nt. Therefore, we know our subject is they. And recipient means receive. I'm going to throw in the word may because this is in the subjunctive. They may receive. Vos is you in the accusative because it's the direct object. And finally, we have this prepositional phrase, in aeterna tabernacula. In we've seen before, it can translate as in or into, depending on the case that follows it. Tabernacula is in the accusative, therefore in is going to translate as into. Aeterna is an adjective, and you can see the word eternal. It's pretty clear in there. Into, eternal. And tabernacula actually translates as tents or booths. However, when I think of tents, I think of camping, and when I think of booths, I think of a county fair. And therefore, I'm going to translate this word as dwellings, because that more accurately reflects the meaning. They may receive you into eternal dwellings. And there we have it. We need to look at the official translation. And I say to you, make unto you friends of the mammon of iniquity, that when you shall fail, they may receive you into everlasting dwellings. If you have any questions about anything we did in this video, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. I have these videos every week. I also have other videos on Latin derivatives. So thanks again so much for joining me at Latin at Home, and I hope you have a very blessed 8th Sunday after Pentecost.